Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. I've got an interesting email in from Michael Leonard here. This is entitled, the email is entitled Canon 6D Mark II Apology. When I first read that, I thought maybe I was going to have to apologize for something, but Michael's actually apologizing. I'm going to read the email and then I want to add my own kind of apology. And maybe I should just say that up front. I have been very adamant about 4K video being a necessity, and I'm not backtracking on my thoughts that it's required. That's my opinion. My apology would be to those of you who don't require 4K video. If you're primarily photo shooters, I don't mean to diss your needs or your opinion that the 6D Mark II didn't need it. We just have a difference of opinion, and if I at all came off as disrespectful of your opinion in that way, I didn't mean to. I've just been very vehemently positive proponent of it having 4K. And so it's been a disappointment for me that it doesn't. So if I have disrespected you in that regard, I apologize. It was not my intention. I was really hoping the 6D Mark II would be the first full frame camera I was going to consider using. I haven't used full frame in a while. I haven't needed it. I use it for photos, but I was thinking it might cover all my bases. Anyways, on to Michael's email, which is quite interesting. Michael says, "Hi Matt, I just want to take a moment to apologize to you for some of my comments on earlier videos you made regarding the Canon 6D Mark II. While for myself, I do not require 4K video capabilities, I was a bit short-sighted about the demands of the larger audience who have been criticizing Canon for not fully adopting it in their cameras. You see, I shot Canon for 10 years. I loved Canon and defended them and scoffed at others for criticizing them. In 2015, I had a chance to give another brand a try and I made a switch to Nikon and bought a D750. While I'm thrilled with the tech and features Nikon tosses into their cameras, I've always missed the ergonomics, simplistic bodies, menus, and live view capabilities of Canon bodies, and I was banking on the 6D Mark II being my gateway back into the world of Canon and those damn lenses that I love so much." And I just, as a footnote here, I'm very similar in some respects there, Michael, because I shot Canon for many years. I've gone back and forth over the years, but I want to love them too, and hence my angst, if you will, about not having 4K. But the night Canon made those rumored specs real, I felt disillusioned. I took a good hard look and realized that even though I'm not crazy about the amount of crap Nikon puts on their bodies and the confusing menus and horrible live view, they actually give you a lot for your money. I realized just how cheap Canon has been the last few years when they can't even stick 2 damn card slots into the 6D Mark II when Nikon has been doing it for years. And you're kind of hitting the nail on the head here for some of my I want to see Canon be the best, and they just get too cheap when it comes to, not even keeping up with the competitors. So I'm agreeing a lot with what you're saying here. I noticed you haven't made any 6D Mark II videos since they announced it, and I was going to apologize for some of my comments publicly, because even though I don't think I said anything to attack you, I feel that I was wrong in dissing 4K as not important enough to include in the camera, as Canon is chipping out on its users. I heard the D820 might be coming soon, so Nikon should have a much better fourth quarter of 2017 if that camera turns out to be a success. As for myself, I'm sticking with Nikon, and I'm going to learn to love their bodies and their convoluted menus. Anyway, once again, I apologize for stirring up some unnecessary crap on your channel. I do watch your videos quite often, and I think your opinion is extremely valuable, and I like the fact that you answer people's questions and give us a chance to respond and disagree. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to the 6D rant video. Cheers, Michael, _Scorehound. So I think Scorehound is Michael's YouTube username. Thank you very much for your email, Michael, and again, thank you for the apology, although I don't really think it's necessary. I didn't notice anything that was out of line. You're probably just expressing an opinion that was different than mine. And, sometimes when you're debating things, you get rather engaged in it. And that's the way I've been. I'm still vehemently proponent of 4K should be in all new offerings. And I think Canon made a big mistake in not putting it in the Mark II. I want to see Canon having the strongest. I think it's in everyone's best interest, including Canon fans, for Canon to be the strongest it can be and have the strongest offerings it can have. And I think it's in the best interest for every camera company to be giving us their best. It gives us, the consumer, more choice. It makes the companies try harder and not rest on their laurels. And so, the 6D Mark II is an amazing camera for a photographer. It's a disappointment for me as somebody that shoots a lot of video as well. And I think that's what you're seeing with a lot of people. So I really appreciate you writing in. And you've expressed some great points here that I wholeheartedly agree with. And I'm looking forward to the Nikon D820. And again, I would reiterate, if I've offended anyone, if you feel disrespected with not respecting your views that it doesn't need 4K, I didn't mean to do that. I just am very much a proponent of arguing my point that I think it does need 4K, and for all the reasons I've stated numerous times. In any case, I think all of us are coming from Michael, myself, and anybody who's been at opposing sides of this issue are coming from the same perspective, and that's a love of Canon and wanting Canon to see or to be the best they can be. And I don't think this decision is one that lends itself to them being the best they can be and being the best offering for the fans and for people that aren't even Canon shooters at the moment and ad infinitum. So I think we're kind of on the same page, even those of us that have been on opposite sides of the aisle, in the sense that, we like the cameras. I like the 6D Mark II. I like what it has to offer. I am disappointed it doesn't have 4K video, but I think it's a fantastic photography camera and a fantastic offering for those of you shooting only photo. I am disappointed because I shoot a lot of video, as do a lot of other people. And in that regard, I don't think it's a great offering for those people. And I guess that subsequently falls through into the fact that I just don't really like Canon's game plan of how they're disassociating video from cameras that they've started. I mean, they were one of the first people to train people that, hey, our cameras do video. The 6D Mark III was used in a lot of big name cinema movies and by a lot of big name producers. And then did I say 6D Mark III? The 5D Mark III was. And then the 5D Mark IV came out with basically, not the greatest 4K setup, and the 6D Mark II doesn't even have it. So I'm disappointed, and I'd like to see Canon. I would have liked to seen the camera I wanted, as I guess all of us would have wanted. So, anyways, thanks very much, Michael, for your email. Much appreciate that you wrote in, took the time. Don't worry about it. I'm not offended at all. I'm always up for a good debate. I don't even mind a heated debate as long as people stay civil. So once again, thank you very much. What do you guys think, folks? Let us know in the comments below. Michael makes some good points here. Do you agree with him? Do you disagree? We can continue. We can have our debates. Keep them civil. We can be friends and disagree, right? And thanks again, Michael. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.